So, if you haven't heard the news, the Brotherhood, Revelations, and AC3 multiplayer services will be shutting down on the 1st of October 2022. So I thought I would make a video on why multiplayer has been axed out of Assassin's Creed in the most recent installments, and will it come back on the AC Infinity platform.
Join the Brotherhood. Piss pot.
So, to set the scene, Assassin's Creed was a single-player game, first and foremost. It's the story of modern day linking to the past, descendants reliving their ancestors' memories. This is why you'd buy an Assassin's Creed game. For the first few installments anyway. By the time Brotherhood had came out, multiplayer was a nice extra feature that made purchasing a copy back in the day feel even more worth the purchase. After playing your first playthrough, you think about starting another playthrough, but instead of jumping back in and replaying the same story, you hop on the multiplayer and simply have a bit of fun. It wasn't a very competitive multiplayer. It was simply, you could show their single player techniques and put them in a multiplayer setting the best. With the multiplayer, you could add a bit of your own personal touch and have fun with friends, or make new friends, and best of all, meet your new sugar daddy. So the question is, why did Ubisoft stop making multiplayer a part of their games? Well, let's skip forward to Black Flag, the fourth AC in a row to have the same multiplayer game modes. And Black Flag was the first to start a new trend in the AC franchise, one that would stick around even today. So how do you make a AAA title more profitable from microtransactions? Well, at the time in 2013, it was having a multiplayer game. GTA 5 shark cards, COD loot boxes, and so on. Multiplayer games were littered with them. And reason why? Companies made extra money. So Assassin's Creed had to increase their portfolio and make a multiplayer centric game, with Black Flag wrapping up Desmond's story and being the epilogue of the AC Phase 1 of games, and Rogue being an extra title for players who didn't have a next-gen console. It was time for... Assassin's Creed Unity had a shorter story, and this was due to the largest multiplayer Assassin's Creed has ever had. Co-op missions with friends are once again sugar daddies. The main cinematic trailer for Unity had 4 assassins in it, referring to the multiplayer co-op being the new main feature, as the Black Flag cinematic trailer showed naval combat being the new main feature for that game. The cover of Unity had 4 assassins, which again means a greater presence of the multiplayer. So the structure of Unity was to have a good first couple sequences to the game, becoming an assassin as Arno, and playing through the events transpiring around him. You escape the Bastille and would later meet Belek and the other assassins at their lair. So after the assassin initiation, what happens? The multiplayer becomes available. And what happens to the story after this intro?
The shit's gonna hit the fan.
But away from the story, themes, and characters in this game, that was certainly not what caught the fans' attention. It was... Now, this did not only lead to Assassin's Creed fans knowing about the game being broken. Unity became the laughingstock to the whole gaming community. People who had never played an AC game knew about it, and it became the game to mock for the year and years to come. So this did not just affect the single player experience, which I think was funny. It was fun to see people floating around mid-air, casually walking off to do their errands. For some people, it took them out of the immersion of what is the most beautiful looking Assassin's Creed game in the series to date. The multiplayer was greatly affected, with servers being laggy, guards able to see through walls, and servers crashing completely. It was a mess. But this is not why Ubisoft stopped making multiplayer modes in any installment since. The backlash of Unity wasn't because fans didn't like multiplayer in Assassin's Creed. It was because multiplayer in Unity was broken. Even with the heavy amount of patches, it's still broken. This is where there's a lack of awareness in the corporate offices of Ubisoft. Fans liked multiplayer in Assassin's Creed, just not a broken mess, which is Unity. Ubisoft took this backlash to mean a few things. For the single player, they got the message that fans highlighting the glitches meant they didn't like assassin characters. So that's why, after Syndicate, which was already in development when Unity came out, you play as a Magi, then a Greek mercenary, and most recently, a Viking. Yes, that's right. That's the message Ubisoft got from all this. People don't want to play as an assassin in Assassin's Creed. Now, that's the single player, but the multiplayer criticism was once again misinterpreted by the higher-ups of Ubisoft. People are complaining about our collapsed servers. Do we go and fix them? No. So does this mean multiplayer will never come back to Assassin's Creed? Well, at the recent AC Anniversary livestream event, on the panel about AC Infinity, they hinted at multiplayer coming back. It was just a mention, no concrete announcement like with the other games they've announced. So it's basically something they're thinking about, but not got anything in the works yet. Probably just depends if they can make a multiplayer littered with microtransactions, to be honest. Anyway, what type of multiplayer would you guys like to play on Infinity? Comment down below your suggestions. So yes, that's the story of Assassin's Creed's multiplayer, and it's a shame because the original multiplayer would be a fine addition to these newer games. Or if they made a working version of the Unity multiplayer, that would have also been a great addition to the newer games. But I forgot that Assassin's Creed shouldn't have assassins. Oh, silly me. Well, I'm going to raid that shit with the boys now, so see you guys next time.